Hi, I'm Hannes. I'm a senior lecturer at the Department of Computing at Curtin University. When we're talking about languages for programming, a lot of people think it's just a matter of convenience. But really, languages are the tools you use for putting a software product together. If you're talking to someone like a carpenter, they will have a whole chest of drawers with different tools on them that they use for particular circumstances. A different saw or hammer or nail will be used depending on the situation, depending on what they're trying to achieve. Software is just the same. Similarly, if you're looking at a car mechanic, they'll need a particular tool to access a particular part of the engine. Languages and computers have different purposes, and it's very important to know what language to use for what purpose. Some languages make your life very, very easy. They do a lot of the work for you. They're generally referred to as high-level languages. Essentially, that means you can call on a lot of systems that are already in place, and you just effectively give the computer instructions how to combine those systems to get it to do what you want. That is quite often done in the Internet of Things because a lot of the things you want to do have already been done many times before. One language that works quite well like that is Python. Python has a lot of different libraries, and fairly much anything you can imagine doing, someone's already done. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to do a lot of programming, you can just do the minimal amount of code that is required to accomplish the particular task. However, when you're using a high-level language, the computer makes all of the decisions. If you're working in an environment where there are limitations, maybe your hardware is a very small device, so it can't do too much processing or doesn't have too much memory, you may have to use a language where you have more control over those resources. Those sort of languages are called low-level languages. The lowest level language is, of course, machine code, and no one sane uses that anymore. But a good language that people do use quite a lot is C, although in engineering people also use Fortran. These languages allow you to get a lot of work done, but they also give you control at a very low level, and they can be incredibly efficient. So they are more work to write a program, and especially more work to write a good program in, but if you're requiring that sort of level of control, that can be very, very useful. There's also intermediate languages. One of the more recent ones, which is quite good, is called C#. What C# allows you to do is something actually quite interesting, because it allows you to use all of the features of a high-level language and then decide at the end whether your program is going to be very high level and therefore very easy to move between computers, we call that portable, or whether it's going to be very, very efficient on a particular type of chip. So rather than using a different language, you can decide on the end result with that particular language. One of the things about the Internet of Things is that you get a huge amount of data. You get massive volumes, and you need something like Python to process that. But once you've got all that data, you don't want to have to go through it manually, so you want some sort of statistical package or statistical language like R that allows you to then format that data and extract the features and information you need. And though really we'll focus on Python for getting things done, and maybe we'll look at R to figure out what we have actually done in the end.